And welcome back. Well, even during a pandemic, the holidays still have a way of being super important to us and giving us lots to do. So, how do you accomplish your goals with less stress? Stacy Tuschl is the author of this book. It is called The Implementation Code: Unlock the Secret to Getting It All Done. And she is back with more on this. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Molly. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I told you after we chatted last time that you had to come back because I asked you this question at the end about your book, and I thought it deserves a little bit more attention. And what I asked you was in writing the book, what was one thing that really stood out to you or changed your life or your family's life the most? Can you share your answer to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually was writing the book during the pandemic. So it definitely changed my opinion on what really matters and where that focus has to go. And I think we can still have really big dreams and big goals for our family and our careers and things like that. But it needs to be those bite sized, small, tangible things that we can really go after to be able to enjoy the journey more and move forward.
I like that. It's not that you can't do it all or do what you want to get done. It's that you need to break it down in chunks, right?
Yeah, more manageable. I talk about lowering the bar in 2021, and I don't mean settle. I don't mean lessen those goals. I just mean find ways to enjoy that journey, have goals that you can actually attain and hit so that momentum gets you moving forward.
So let's talk about the ways you break it down, starting with purging.
Yes. So I think a lot of times we assume more is better, right? We have to buy more or what's missing. But a lot of times we have everything we need. So looking around, what can we get rid of? What can we make space for in 2021? That could be 10 minutes a day from now until Christmas, knowing more is going to be coming in the door very, very shortly. So is that 10 minutes a day? Is it spending an hour this weekend? Getting rid of things that you don't need, those duplicates, the three can openers you may have in your drawer, things like that.
What's your favorite tip, I guess I would say, for decluttering?
I think really asking yourself, what do you use? What do you love? What do you need? And then my favorite question to ask is, would I buy this again right now? That question usually makes me go, okay, I probably wouldn't. And that makes it easier for me to get rid of. And just remembering there are so many places out there to donate the unused items in your house or things that just aren't bringing you joy anymore. What can you get rid of? And again, it opens up making more space for amazing things to happen in 2021.
I like that. And there's always somebody, like you said, who could use it, and maybe somebody else can have it and love it. Now, your third tip, as we chunk it down, is to assess our calendar in the new year. How do we do that?
Yeah, so I always tell people if you aren't maybe exactly happy with your current situation, we can tell a lot by looking at your calendar. We can tell a lot by looking at your bank account. Where you spend your time and where you spend your money is a really great indication of what has been happening. And then you can take that assessment to figure out where you want to go as we move forward. What do you want your calendar to be filled with? What do you want to be spending your time and money on? And that will definitely change your priorities moving forward.
I like that because I think a lot of us feel like we're sort of pulled around by our calendar, that our calendar is in charge and it's just filled. And so often it doesn't have a lot of things in it that we want to do. So I think it's such a great tip to think about, what do I want to see in my calendar rather than letting it dictate to us how we're going to
Yeah.
be spending our time. I also like what you say about gift giving. And this is key, especially now as people are in the countdown to Christmas and the holidays. You suggest ways to get shopping and gift giving with more meaning and less stress. And there are four questions that you talk about, especially with kids, that help you
Yeah.
determine a gift.
Yes, definitely being more intentional. I find that this year as a parent, I have been trying to overcompensate with the kids, buying more or what could they have or need or want. And I think we have to remember that more isn't always better and that physical objects aren't always the things that they're looking for. So buying with more intention. Four tips that I love, and I use this myself when I was Christmas shopping, is something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read, so that you don't just end up buying a million toys for Christmas, right? It gives them a little something in different categories to get them excited, right? So that's a great way to do it if you just keep thinking, do they need more toys in the house?
It's such a wonderful way to focus, I think, Stacy, that idea of something you want, because it shouldn't be just stuff you need. It shouldn't just be a new pair of socks or boots. It should be something you want, but then also it lets us really pay attention to what is it we actually need. And then there's something to wear, because it's fun to have something fun to wear. And then there's something to read, which I think is so often forgotten, especially these days.
Yes. And I think children love books, adults, we love to read, or maybe we want to read, but we just don't put it in our schedule and prioritize. And I think it's definitely something great that is going to be helpful for all ages.
Loved chatting with you this morning, Stacy. Thank you for joining us again. I hope you'll join us in the new year too.
Yes. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time too. And you can find out more about the implementation code and Stacy by going to her website. It's stacytuschl.com.